western Montana, cruising on I-90 towards the border with Idaho. Today is Tuesday, the delivery day. I'm about 3 hours away from Spokane Valley. And I worked real hard yesterday, did 632 miles, 632, or 1,044 kilometers. I think that's my personal record. Because, you know, I got a crane appointment and I have to be in Vancouver either Wednesday or Thursday. So I think after I deliver this one, I'm going to take it easy and shut down at a truck stop. And then start driving tomorrow, Wednesday. Because Vancouver, BC, Canada is only, what, 450 miles away. I can rest today. Oh, and talk to a guy. I slept in Missoula, Montana, the Murrells Travel Plaza, but I fueled across the street at the Pilot because the discount was 4 cents per gallon. Better than Murrells. And the guy next to me was one of those heavy haulers, you know, T800 Kenworth with huge front axle, huge truck, huge radiator, and it had 3 axles. And the guy was hooked to an empty trailer, but that trailer had like 10 axles, you know, Jeeps, boosters, you name it. And I went over to the guy, I said, when you have 100,000 pounds gross, how much can you do in terms of fuel mileage? And he looked at me and he said, well, empty I'm at 65, so loaded I usually around 170, 175, 180. And he says, I noticed that if you go from 55 to 60, you lose half a mile per gallon. If you go from 60 to 65, you lose much more. I guess probably he meant what, like 1.5, 2 gallons. So basically, and I said, oh, you know, I hardly get 4 miles per gallon with this, and I only weigh 100,000 pounds right now, and I drive 92k an hour. You know, 56 miles per hour. And he said, well, there's nothing else you can do because that's the best speed for the fuel mileage. So I don't know. Some guys say I'm kind of obsessing too much about this, but you know, it's a lot of money when the truck does not run properly. But I mean, the funny thing is that it does pull great. It pulls great. I have lots of power, but it was windy. I drove till late night yesterday, and the wind died after dark, and right away I noticed that my fuel gauge needle stopped moving because it was basically moving in front of my eyes when it was windy. So I don't know. Something's weird going on. Hopefully I'm picking up these power harnesses today at the UPS there in Spokane Valley. I'm going to install them and see if it makes any difference with my next load, which is going to be 55,000 pounds. And another problem developed recently in my truck. The cruise control that I tend to use all the time cuts off now. I can start it, the truck starts driving, you know, in cruise control, but then sometimes 10 seconds later or 1 hour later, it just cuts off. I have to check into that. I look at this scenery. Beautiful. 21 Fahrenheit. It's a few degrees below 0 Celsius, but no snow yet. But I'm pretty sure I'll see something on top of the mountain over there at that near Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I'm climbing a big hill, the last hill before Idaho on the Montana side, and this load is so heavy it made me switch to gear 5, so I'm doing like 22 miles per hour or 31 kilometers an hour. And up ahead on the bridge it says lookout pass exit 0, which means that I'm out of Montana. There's a big hill in Idaho, what, probably 40 kilometers or 25 miles from the border with Washington. This is kind of like the worst stretch. Very steep. I'm in 6th low and only doing 40 kilometers an hour, 25 miles per hour. And I'm passing the Coeur d'Alene Lake. Huge lake. Blue Creek Bay. On a good day you see lots of, you know, jet skis and pleasure boats. Lots of people here on weekends when it's warm. And all of a sudden I'm out of the mountains. The road looked like this. And the sign on the left says, "Welcome to Washington. Bye-bye, Idaho." And the first exit is 299. And I'm entering Spokane County. Uh-oh, the scale is open. They stopped me on the scale because my 3 axles on the trailer showed 56,000 pounds. And red light came on, stop. Right there when it shows 56,000, where my trailer axles were on the small scale. And the guy comes out, scratches his head, he says, you have a permit, right? I said, yeah, sure. He says, well, we know when a truck is so much over the legal limit, you must have a permit. Can I see it? Okay, so I showed him my permit. He scratched his head some more, and okay, you're fine. Let me go. So, and this was a Washington scale, and I'm right there. You see, I'm 7 kilometers or what, 3.5 miles to my destination. Finally, you guys get to see this unbelievable machine. Basically, it's AGV, automatic guidance vehicle. Kind of like a computer with wheels slash turntable slash moving, I don't know, press or whatever. So basically, it runs by itself, no driver. So 63,000 pounds, and you put in the program, and it has sensors, and it just follows the lines on the floor, and you can pick up a heavy load, move it inside the plant, come back, do something else, you know. So basically it's a robot that's designed for heavy lifting, and the cost is over $600,000. And it sits so inconspicuously, you know, my trailer under the tarp. 600K. And I'm gonna, maybe if they allow me, I'll just shoot when they take it off the trailer. So this was quite an interesting load. Well, I'm in Spokane Valley, Washington, and I wanted to show you guys what I had. And when I enter the plant, it's a big aluminum plant, and they give me paper to sign. She says, initial here. And I look and it says, no cameras, no, you cannot film inside. So, and it was so fast, you know, there were 2 cranes. I went in there, and they're just 2 big cranes. They picked up this machine, this 28-foot long automated guided vehicle. And then they told me just to drive away, and that's it. Then I spent an hour probably folding all my tarps and chains, and I saw actually the other guy, the second driver from Landstar that brought the machine. He was just a couple of hours earlier than me, even though he left on Thursday. Remember when my truck broke down because of the alternator, I left one day on Friday, but I drove like crazy. Yesterday I did 650 miles, the day before I did 614, because I have this other load to pick up in Vancouver. But I just sent an email to the agent. I said, I need a break. I'm gonna stay here tonight and I'll start driving tomorrow. It's only like 450 miles. to Vancouver, BC, Canada, and then I'm picking up a load. I said I'll be there Thursday. Oh, and then another thing, and actually the main topic of this rant, is this nice little envelope marked Priority Mail Express. Now, when you buy something from a company that has the word freak in the name, be cautious. That's just my tip to everybody who's watching this, right? So I bought this power harness from a company called Diesel Freak, and the name freaked me out a little bit, you know. But it was a smooth transaction. I did everything online, no human interaction. Paid with my credit card on Thursday last week, just when I was supposed to pick up this big machine, right? And I thought this would give them enough time to ship, like Friday, because I placed the order like late at night from my hotel. And I got the email saying that, yeah, your order was received, we'll send you shipping information. Okay, so I'm driving right down here, nothing, no other emails came. No, usually they send you a tracking number, right? Because I told them, oh, the address I gave them was for a customer center in Spokane Valley, because I asked them, I said, do you use UPS to ship this stuff? They said yes. Okay, so I found, I went to Google Maps, found UPS customer, actually yeah, I went to UPS website and found the customer center that does hold for pickup. And I used this feature before. It's really convenient when you travel across the country. Like, I don't live here, right? So, but I want the package to wait for me because I know I'll be here delivering the load. And so I you know, told them, write my name, hold for pickup, you know, care of UPS customer center, right? And then you just show your ID and the tracking number. And so I called yesterday that Diesel Freak, and I said, so where's my package? Well, I didn't receive any emails from you with the tracking number. Oh, it's been delivered. It says here it's been delivered. It's going to be delivered. Oh, it says out for delivery. Will be delivered Monday. Okay, cool. All right. So now I drive in my big truck to that UPS center, and the guy cannot find anything. And so I called this Diesel Freak. I say, what's the tracking number? She finally gives me a tracking number, and it looks weird. Doesn't look like a UPS number. I said, who did you use? What carrier? And she says, United States Postal Service. And she was just checking as we were talking. She was checking online, and it says, she says, I'm checking here, and it says, try to deliver January 18th on Saturday, and no authorized recipient available. Left a notice. I said, of course, because that's why I need to know who you are shipping with. Because if it's a FedEx, I will find a FedEx customer center, because I know for sure that FedEx will never leave mail at the UPS, and UPS will never leave mail at FedEx, you know, if you write hold for pickup, because I did this before. It always, I know for sure it must be the same carrier and the same customer center. So if I knew they would be using USPS, United States Postal Services, as opposed to UPS, I would give them this address, because that's where I had to go to pick up this address. I mean, this shipment. It's a Metro Carrier station, right? And they have the same kind of service, kind of you know, a counter. You can have some mail shipped here, but that's what happens. Oh, and then of course, but how did I know the location? Well, once I knew the tracking number, I went to USPS.com, put that in, and then it says for more information. No, then I found their phone number. I called that number, and it's no customer service option. What do you want to do? Track, send, receive. Jesus, so I had to track again, even though I knew what was happening. On the phone, I put in the tracking number, and then it says, finally, it gave me the option, customer service. And I talked to customer service for half an hour, explained the situation. And I said, I bought something from Diesel Freaks, you know, like, who knew? And and so finally she gave me the address. She said, let me see where this package sits. And she gives me the address. I put it in my GPS, and it's like 3 kilometers away from the UPS, 2 miles, you know. And I figured it would be the case, because normally they ship the package closest to the zip code, right, where it's going to be delivered. And I asked the lady on the customer service, I said, do you know this location? Is it like downtown somewhere? Because I drive a transport truck with a 53-foot trailer. Will I be able to go in there? And she says, I don't know. Well, I just took my chances because I know it's Spokane Valley. It's all industrial pretty much. And I drove in here. I was able to stop on the street and finally got my package. Now check this out. It says here waiver of signature, okay, but then the first line of the address where it's going, it says Sergie Pickup. I have a new last name, Sergey, and then see here, I don't know if you can guys see it over here. The first line says Sergey, in caps, pickup, and then it says hold for pickup, 1018 North Bradley Road, Spokane, Washington. They did not even put the UPS customer center. So how, like, what document do you show? Like, you go into pick up the package. What do you show if the last name on the package is pickup? Like, I don't have a document for that, you know. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, be careful. Always look at the name of the company that you're buying online from, you know. If it has the word freak, use caution. But finally it's here, so by the way, let's check it out. Because one more thing is I need instructions, and they said in the online web store that they have detailed instructions. Well, actually these look pretty good. CAT installation instructions. Wow, even has a picture. The picture of the engine shows you everything. Hey. So I think I'll be able to do it myself. Because I opened the hood and there's so many wires in there. I know so many harnesses. Like, how do I know which one is correct? But the actual stuff. Yeah, you see, and they give you the business card. Diesel freak. Freaky. But these guys, you know what I like to, of course I'm joking about the name, you know, it is a bit unusual, but it's easy to remember for sure. But what I liked about these guys is that on their website it says it was designed, look at, you know, it looks like a very quality product. It was designed by a CAT technician, and he tested it for 2 years on various trucks before selling it to the public. And basically, yeah, it comes like this with a switch. See? Oh, you can increase it. Jesus, wow, that's great. So it's I thought it was on off, but no, this switch is basically you can regulate, you can adjust the horsepower, because I think at full power it's what they said, 90 horsepower, 250 torque. But maybe you don't need that all the time, so you can just kind of dial down. But they said this, without this, you can install it within 5 minutes. But with this, it might take an hour. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just install it without the switch. But I really wanted to try this on this next load, which is going to be again heavy. Because I don't know, something with my fuel mileage. And this other guy that delivered the load, he had a very old, that had this other machine, right? He had a very old Freightliner Classic, flat roof, and he had you know, that piece on the top. Even though he's pulling a step deck, I don't know why does he need that air deflector. Oh, I think, yeah, okay, he has a generator. He has a generator on his roof that he uses to keep himself warm and charge the battery, like a big box. And so I installed the deflector. But anyway, so this guy is a very old looking Freightliner Classic, and he has air cleaners on the outside, you know, not exactly the aerodynamic truck, because at least I don't have air cleaners. So I asked him, because it's the same weight, right? I said, how did you do on fuel mileage? And he said, well, in South Dakota and Iowa there, that's where I had my worst mileage. He said that it was about 5, but he said some stretches I did 6. I know, I think I probably did 6 somewhere when there was like a straight road, no wind, because I could see that my gauge, you know, stayed steady and not moving. But yeah, that Iowa, I don't know, I did less than 4 for sure, because otherwise I wouldn't have had to buy so much fuel. And that's why I want to try this one, see what happens. Anyway, let's go find a truck stop. I think there's a petrol somewhere down the road from here. I'll go relax a little bit, maybe have some nice dinner. Celebration is in order because, you know, 63,000 pounds, it's a serious load to end the 2,300 miles of driving. Oh, no tickets. I went through scales, I think, twice. And yeah, the last one was here in Washington, when the guy just stopped me and looked at my permit, and that's it. So tomorrow my next adventure is about to begin, from Vancouver, BC to New Mexico at the Colorado border. Be safe. Thanks for watching.